usually start with Barna. So I'm gonna just get right into the lash line, because what I'm looking to do is give definition to my eye shape and build it out a bit. And you don't have to be too perfect, let's say, because afterwards I'm going to take a brush and blend it, because I do want that softening of it. You can either go all the way in if you want. I'm going to keep looking and decide whether I want to go straight in all the way to the closer to the nose, or focus this way. So, and sometimes I do either or. One of the things I like about not doing it in such a sharp line is it works better with wrinkles and creases and crepes and stuff like that. I don't think you need to be so perfect. Anybody can do whatever they want. Of course, a perfect sharp line, gorgeous. If you can't achieve that anymore, it doesn't mean like, oh, forget it. There are ways to do that even with lined and wrinkled and creped eyes. But I prefer that look because I like the makeup to kind of be secondary to the way my eyes look. And of course, you can go darker, you can go bigger, you can go less, whatever you're feeling that day. And that's what I like about working with a pencil, and a soft, very blendable pencil like this one, is that however I'm working that day or feeling that day, I can move it around. Today I want it to be a lot less. The next day I want to go all the way out to my eyebrows. Whatever you're feeling. And that it's a brown I'm trying to create shadows, true shadows. So I can shape my eyes and the rest of my face, as I'm going to show you a little bit later too. And you can use this on different skin tones depending on the opacity you want to get. It's meant to be a defining kind of color, so it should work for most skin tones to create definition and shape. So I start to blend a little bit too on the outer edges, just into my crease, mostly because, again, depending on your eye shape, it's probably going to transfer a little bit there. So I go for it. I'm like, why not? If it's going to transfer in there, just make it part of the look, softly. Because then all day as I'm blinking and doing whatever's happening, if a bit goes in there, of course I'm going to go and look and touch it up and go, oh, that's too much, or normal. Makeup is going to move. It should move. You can touch it up, and that's also the beauty of having a pencil and a brush. Now I'm going to go in with Lustro. This is such a great pencil. We were so excited about creating something like this because it's a great tool to use on all parts of your face. And I keep saying about all of them because they are. But this one, it gives dimension in another way. It's a highlight without being too warm or too cold. So for instance, today, I'm just going to do a little on the inside corner and kind of blend it up. What I've been liking to do, again, wearing a mask, and I will do this in other tutorials, I put a little bit on the center upper part of my lid, just to give a little life. And I'll tell you, right on both, just in the center, it might look a little soft, but that's what you want. What this does, and sometimes I do a little bit on the bottom as well, just in the center, sort of focusing where my pupils are. It is a way to open up your eyes that comes from drawing, that comes from highlighting and contouring, which is really highlighting and shadowing. When you're thinking about it that way, you're giving your eyes a little bit of a pop without it, you're not going into a color or something too harsh. It's just a nice way to play with highlight. And then I'm going to put on some mascara so that you can see. I'll go in again afterwards. I do a little on the bottom and a little on the top. I need to get some life in there. I'm going to take Lustro again and go, now that I have my mascara on, you already have these little highlight spots on the inner corners of your eyes, and you're just defining them a little bit more. And I tap in to blend them a little bit. A little under again. It almost looks like a little gleaming spot. So it creates this openness. And then once I've done that, I mean, sometimes I'll go, you know, all the way over my lid with Lustro, depending on what I'm doing that day. But for today, what I want to do is I'm going to take Neutra and go into just adding a bit to my cheeks. Super easy and a great way. Like I said, now that we're wearing masks, it's just a nice way to add a touch of color, and you can keep blending, keep adding and getting a little bit more of natural, realistic color with this. So fast. And I can keep going with that, but what I'm going to show you now is a bit of the Lustro there as well, just to create a little highlight spot. When you're using a product like this, it's so fine, you can play with it and create some highlights. And when you can also go in after, as times I do, with the High Shine Gloss and add a dab of that. It's really, when you're doing this kind of a no makeup look, or believable definition, it is about all those light layers. Neutra I'm going to use today. I'm going to use it with the brush. I usually just do this. And even if you're not going to commit to a big lip shape, you can outline them and brush it in. You can have a big opaque lip, and that's great. If you're wearing your mask all day, which I have been mostly when I'm working on set, I like to put a little bit of color, and this kind of a stain won't go all over the inside of your mask. So that's a super easy way to use Barna, Lustro, Neutra, and I think that's all I used on this one, and the new brush.
And the gloss.
And the gloss, yes, and also the High Shine Gloss. Super easy, fast. I could probably do this in 10 minutes, maybe even quicker, and get a lot of definition and vibrancy.